Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Melissa here, and for those of you who are visiting me for the first time, welcome. I am a mixed media artist from Pennsylvania, and today I'm going to be working on a mixed media collage. I am using a 6-inch by 12-inch cradled wooden board, and I normally start by gessoing those, but I was able to skip that step because I'm going to be covering the entire board in collage paper. And I am using some matte gel medium. I've got the Liquitex brand there, and that's going to be my adhesive. Excuse me. So I'm covering the whole entire board with sheets of paper. I've got some music sheets and I've got some book pages there that I'm tearing off randomly. I'm keeping them roughly in square and rectangular shapes. I'm not cutting though. I do like the uneven edges of the torn paper, and I'm just varying how I'm laying those down. Not really any plan here. I also don't really have any plan for the finished piece. Now, I kind of, in my mind, I'm either going to be doing a raven or a cat. At the point where I'm at now, though, I hadn't decided. I will tell you when I do decide, and I will tell you why I decided to go that route. But for now, I'm just alternating between the two kinds of paper and completely covering that board. Incidentally, if you're interested in finding out where I purchased any of the supplies that I'm using today, plus all of my commonly used supplies from any of my other videos, I have some Amazon affiliate links in the description there. I'm also going to be using some Hippie Crafter brand paints, which I absolutely love, and there's going to be a link for those in the description as well. So if you're interested, you can take a look for those. So what I'm doing now is just finishing up here. I'm going to let everything thoroughly dry, and then I like to trim everything down before I start the next step. I like keeping everything nice and neat as I go. It helps me kind of envision what the finished product is going to look like. You certainly don't have to do that. You can wait until the very end and trim everything off. I do it each step though. So if I'm laying down some collage paper now and then I add some more later, I will do it in 2 different steps just because it helps me visualize things a little better. So now that I've let that thoroughly dry, which took probably, I think I let that go for a couple of hours there, I'm going in with my acrylic paint. The little tubes there are the Hippie Crafter paint that I was telling you about, and I've also got some Liquitex and some Artist Loft paint, and I'm just using the brightest colors that I have. I want to get as many bright layers and textures and colors down as I can, because I'm going to be doing the negative painting technique where I cover up the background and reveal an image. I've done several of these before. I'll put some links at the end for those previous videos. In fact, this is the point where I kind of decided which route I wanted to go with the image, and I'm going to do a cat on this one. And the reason for that is that I sold my very last cat, which I did on the channel here. If you were with me, you probably remember this painting. I sold it this week, and I thought, well, I don't have any cats left. I'm going to do another one because I like them and people seem to like them, so it seemed like a natural choice. Also, I'd been doing a lot of darker themed and darker colored pieces lately, and I wanted to do something that was just a little more bright and upbeat, and this really worked out great. I'm really happy with the finished product. So as you can see, I'm just going in here with all of the different paints. I love the saturation of these paints. The colors are just so brilliant, and they make me so happy to use them. Love that teal color in that Artist Loft tube that I have there. It is a shame because I think they discontinued that, and it is such a great paint too, and was such a great paint for the value. But I haven't been able to find it. I got it on a clearance rack, and I've looked online, but it seems like they may have done away with it because even on eBay when I found it, it's one of those things that is kind of astronomically priced now and should not be. So sadly, I have to be sparing with that, but I have found some Liquitex colors that are similar enough that I can be happy with them. So I'm kind of going all in with this piece, and by that I'm going to be using my book pages, my music sheets. I'm using all sorts of bright colored paints. I'm going to be using some stamps and stencils and even more collage papers made from gel prints that I've done in the past, all kinds of things. I wanted to put it all in there because, like I mentioned, I want to create the most highly patterned and textured background that I can. So here I've got some stencils that I'm going to be using. I have a link to those in my affiliate links as well at the end. I got those on Amazon. They were not very expensive, and I think they came, it was like 6 or 8 to a pack, and I can't remember the price, but it's on there for you. And they're 6-inch stencils. They're great. I love them so far, and there's some pretty cool patterns in there. I haven't used all of them. I don't love every single one, but I would say that the majority of them I've used so far and really like them. I'm now going in with some Grumbacher Red just to change it up a little bit. It's not quite as bright and happy as the rest of them, but I do really like it. And now I'm using some Artist Loft Gold over top of that spiral stencil, which I do love. I use that one all the time. I love spirals, and that one is just kind of great all around. But I wanted a little bit of the metallic in there. So kind of thought I was going to be using some copper foil in the end of this, and when we get to that point, I'll ask your opinion if you liked what I did or if you thought maybe I should have gone that route. And I probably will at one in the future, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. So I've got just some random gel prints and collage papers there that I was going through, and I have my little rubber stamper that has several different textures on it, and I'm kind of just going to go at it and put some more things down there. I did want to introduce some black in there just for the contrast, and I do like the way that looks when I got those little leaf patterns down there. I think it really kind of made everything pop because it just gave that little bit of darkness and detail that it was missing before. So that collage paper that I just picked up, I made that out of actually a texture roller that I also made. I don't think I have a video of making those, but very simply I used some adhesive backed foam on the inside cardboard roll of an aluminum foil package, and those work really nicely. I recommend giving that a try. But I made that nice little spiral paper there you can kind of see in the bottom right, and it has those flower shapes cut out of it because I bought a paper punch. It was a hydrangea punch, and again I have the link to that in the description as well. It's just these cute little flowers, and I've got so many ideas to use those. I did a piece I think 2 videos ago with that. I'll put a link to that one at the end for you as well. But those are the little flowers that it came out of it. So I'm basically using, you know, the negative and the positive space. Those obviously were done on different colored paper, but I liked the idea of having some of those in the background since I did have the negative of that with that spiral paper as well. And I'm going to be putting some more of those on at the end. They were actually how I chose to finish up the piece, which I think tied everything together. But again, I'm just adhering all of this with that matte gel medium. You can use gloss gel medium as well. It's personal preference, whatever you like to use. I haven't found that they really vary much in their sticking ability, so like whatever you have on hand or whatever you might prefer is just fine there. So you might notice I'm going over these quite a few times. Those little flowers, some of them are different thicknesses. I was doing an experiment and I kind of just had those laying around, decided to use them. Some of them were done on watercolor paper, and while you can definitely use that, it is heavier and going to take a little more to stick on there. So I did end up opting to not use that particular paper on here. It just wasn't exactly what I was going for with this piece, but you certainly could use it or use a different kind of glue if you feel better about that. In the previous piece that I did that I was talking about, I just used regular white glue, and that worked just fine, but I also had that behind glass, so it's a little more protected. All right, so I have these flower sheets, which if you've watched my channel, you've seen me do these hundreds of times. Not really hundreds, but lots and lots, because I love the way those flowers look. I was intending to put some of those on there, and I kind of keep setting them down and looking at them, but ultimately I decided not to use that because I just kind of feel like it already had enough going on that it didn't necessarily need that particular pattern, and I figured I would just save them for something else. But what I did want to do was add a little more yellow and use that stamper again. So I just went ahead and rolled some out on a piece of scratch paper, just kind of going in randomly here and there, adding that on top. I like the idea of layers peeking through, so I don't ever really put something down and then put something on top of it so that it is like delineated, if you know what I mean. I really like different ideas. Okay, so here's where I decided to use the cat. Now that is just a cat that I sketched out on some drawing paper, and you can see there the black edge around the piece. I just went ahead with my sponge roller and painted the sides black and a little bit right up around on the edges of the piece. I just like the way it makes it stand out. So once I got that cat sketched out, I cut it out and I'm just tracing that on there with a regular old pencil. Because what I'm going to do now is choose a color, which I chose my very favorite teal that I'm almost out of, and I'm going to take my little brush there and just work around that outline that I made until all of the cat is outlined in the teal, and it's going to just kind of slowly reveal the image of the cat, covering up some of the background, but not all of it. So all of those wonderful colors and patterns and textures that we put down, that's going to be what makes up the image of the cat itself. I love this technique. I've done it several times. I did, I think, I did 2 different bird paintings this way and then the other cat. Actually, I wanted to ask you all if there is an image that you would like to see done in this style. Drop it in the comments. I am always looking for new things to do. I kind of get stuck in my favorites, which are ravens and cats. But if there's something that you would like to see done in this style, I will certainly give it a try and we'll see what we can come up with. So don't be afraid to ever comment, hey, do a, whatever, spider, whatever you like. It doesn't matter. But if there's something you want to see, let me know and we'll give her a shot. But it takes me just a few minutes to go ahead and get this paint covered down. And you'll notice that I am not solidly covering the background. I'm not completely taking it to the edge all the way around. And I'm also not just loading that brush up and loading that board down with paint. And there actually were a couple of areas like right there where I got a little too much on. And I just took a wet towel and pressed that down so I could reveal a little bit more of that design underneath. I want to still be able to know that it's there without it being completely there, obviously, or the design itself is going to be obliterated. So that's just how I like to do it. You could, of course, completely cover up that background. There would be nothing wrong with that. The first piece I did in this method, I did a bird and I covered just about all of the background in white. And then I took a bamboo skewer and scratched out some flower shapes in the background, and that was pretty cool too. I had thought about doing something like that with this, but I didn't really think it needed that. And then I ended up going a different route to finish it. But once I get this blue on here, see, at this point, here's where my dilemma was. Do I leave it blue? I keep seeing copper foil, and the copper and the teal work so beautifully together. I kind of want to do a piece where there is copper on top of teal as the background of one of these negative paintings. I was thinking about doing that, but I ultimately ended up using some of those little flower shapes, which I'll get to here in a second. But tell me what you think. Should I have gone this route, or do you think it would have been better had I used some of the copper foil over the teal? I don't really think there's a wrong answer. I think it would have looked cool either way, but since I already had these flowers down as part of the background, it was just another way to kind of bring everything together and have it make some visual sense. Now, these little flowers that I'm using here, they do have copper foil on them because they were made out of a gel print sheet that I used copper foil on the gel plate over some teal paint. So kind of all of the things that I said are still present, just not exactly in the way that I was thinking about doing them, if I am making any sense whatsoever. But I do like the way these little guys look on there. I don't know, since they are teal and copper, some of that teal pulls them back into the background, but the copper pulls them up to the foreground. So I just think it really works really well together here. Incidentally, when I made that cat mask there, I said I sketched it out, which I did. If you want to do something like that but don't feel confident in your drawing skills, and I say this all of the time, there is a database, which I also have linked in my description there, called Unsplash, which is a royalty-free database of images There is nothing wrong with printing something out on your computer and cutting that out to make your mask out of, or if you see something in a magazine that you like, do it that way. There's nothing wrong with any of that. I sketch, so it was just natural for me to do that. Sorry about the light flickering there. I've got a short in my wire and my cat just keeps bumping into it. But here I'm going through with a charcoal pencil and just outlining everything. I like the way that looks with this technique. It really kind of outlines everything and brings it together. And I'm just going to go ahead in and add a few details of where the tail is and put a little kind of suggestion of a face on there and do just the very basics of some shading around there. Now that I'm sitting here watching this, I'm thinking maybe next time I want to do something with some human figures. I don't do too much with the human figure. I have one piece that I did on my channel last year, and it turned out pretty cool, but I think maybe something with this particular style, but maybe something a little darker in theme or color. I'll have to work on that idea a little bit, and maybe we'll see a video of that coming up here at some point in the future too. Here I'm just going over with that that paper tool there and smudging around the charcoal just to blend it in a tiny little bit. I didn't want it too blended, but just a little bit. And I have a piece of dark charcoal that I'm touching up around the edges there where the paint kind of got covered up again after I put the teal on, and I just smoothed that out and we've got a finished piece. So let me know what you think. I really like it. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. I love the technique, and let me know if there's anything else that you guys would have done differently, or if there's a different image that you might like to see, and we'll give it a try. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't had a chance yet, give me a like and give me a subscribe. It helps out my channel immensely, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.